Good. Okay. Welcome to class, everybody. I'm AccroBrandon. Welcome to Liquid Motion. If you're new here, we focus a lot on pelvic initiation, tucking, tilting, full range of motion through the entire spine, emanating from the pelvis itself. So, teaching classes every week, just like Jenny is. I got the GoPro right up there, so this class will be available for a replay on my YouTube channel, AccroBrandon, A-C-C-R-O, Brandon. I'll post it up to the Facebook. This live will last for 24 hours in the Liquid Motion feed. But if you go to my YouTube, everything that I've been teaching since quarantine started is over there. If you want to support me, this is a free class, but if you want to tip me, whistle at me, throw happy faces, or give me some money, which, I'm broke and on unemployment, which doesn't pay much. But you can always find me there, Venmo, AccroBrandon, A-C-C-R-O, or PayPal, AccroBrandon@gmail.com. Let's see what's coming up. On the 17th, I'm doing an Ass-tastic class for body and pole. So I'll be on the body and pole IG live stream. It's Ass-tastic. It's going to be a liquid class. It's a class I ran probably, seems like a year ago. Well, it seems like a few weeks ago, but it's probably a year ago. So it's a lot of like Ass-tastic liquid moves. And then we work on how to find the right orientation to front, to flow through them, so they link up. It's not just like sticking your ass in the air, kind of is, but taking some of the best, bootylicious moves that we have in liquid and putting those together. So today, we're gonna look at a little bit of a prance. We got a wide range of stuff. We've got some 1.0 content, we've got some 2.0 content. It's not gonna be super physically challenging per se, but a little more mental up here, making the connection from the head to the legs. For the prancing type of stuff, and then a combination of a couple different things that'll all make sense once we get there. So if you have any questions, feel free to type them into the screen. I know it's sideways, but we're going to get a better user experience having it nice and wide back there. So with that being said, let's get warmed up, 10-15 minutes. We'll do a little bit of abs today, and I will probably do something just a little bit hamstringy to loosen up the hamstrings, because we're going to be doing some prances, so we're going to want those to loosen up a little bit so we're not quite as tight. Okay, cool. So there's that. Oh, and then the other thing is Let Them Eat Cake on the 23rd. I am performing for them, so if you haven't seen them, if you're not familiar, it's an event that happens here in New York, but they've been doing like Zoom performances, so if you want to check that out, you can. Okay, so let's get started. Yeah, this looks good here. Okay, starting our warm-up. Feet a little bit wider than the hips. Yeah, and then we're going to start with a little rock to the right and left, shaking things out, wiggling out the toes, feeling the inner and outer blade of the foot, and then maybe shaking out the spine from the top to bottom. Oh, I'm also teaching a class tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a pole power class. Roll it around in a circle, shifting the hips, feel all four sides of the foot. Maybe the heels and toes will lift. Maybe not. Maybe you're just in the ankles rolling things out. But yes, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, a pole power express class. 60 minutes only. Other direction, hopefully you're a level 2.5 and up, meaning that you can starting to invert on the regular. You've got some leg hangs and whatnot in you, and it's just going to be strength and conditioning type of stuff. A la pole with me as well if you want to join. And then coming back to center nice and slow. Nice and slow with the arms reaching up. A little arch back. Folding over. Scoop at the bottom. Back up to the top. Arch. Fold and scoop. Keep going. 2 more. Last full one. And then stay standing, dropping the arms. Shoulder circles to the back, rolling it out. 3, 2, 1, to the front. 3, 2, 1, back to center. Into the ribs, chest forward and arching back. Ribs back and round. Front and arch. Back and round. Keep going. 3, 2, last one. And back to center. Keeping the chest steady, slide the ribs to the right and to the left. From side to side. Without leaning, just like you're shoving the ribs from side to side. 2 more. Last one. And back to center. Take the chest, pop it forward, and then take it around to the right side. Rib circles to the right, all the way around. Other direction. And then coming back to center. Down into the pelvis, tucking it forward and tilting it back. Tuck and tilt. Front and back. 4, 3, 2. Last full one. Stay low. Push your hip to the right side, straightening through the left. Down to the other side from hip to hip. And trying to get a straight leg on each side as you push through. 2 more. Last one. Back to center. From here, arch, melt it forward. Forward fold. Straighten out the legs. Shift the hips left and right. Maybe grab the elbows. Dangle, swivel, swing. Whatever's feeling good for you. Just relax for a sec. Slowing down your swing. Still folded over. Walk your hands over to the left side. Left ankle, right hand, left arm in the air for a twist. Loosening up here. Yeah, good. Rolling out the wrists. 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll the wrist other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying here. Try to twist just a little bit deeper. And then bringing it down. Other side. Right ankle, left hand, right arm in the air for a twist. Rolling out the wrist. 4, 3, 2. Roll it other way. 4, 3, 2. Pausing, twisting even deeper. Reach a little further. Bringing it down. Hands on the mat in front of you, arms straight and locked out, looking forward the entire time. Getting ready to squat the booty to the floor nice and slow. Here we go. And down. And up. 4, 3, 2. Last full one. Pause. Heel and toe your feet together, just 1 or 2 steps. You're still in a straddle, just not as wide. From here, soften the knees, starting to roll up. Push the pelvis forward, roll through the spine. Arch and melt back forward. Tucking the pelvis, rolling up. Arching and melting back down. Keep going. 2 more. Last full one. Meet me standing. Pausing at the top. Nice deep inhale. Letting it out. And then we reverse, okay? Head, chin, chest, dive. Straight legs. Head first. Chin, chest, dive. Straight legs. Keep going. 3 more. Woo. I need these. I'm losing my balance. I haven't done these in a while. 2. Last full one. And then pausing at the top. Shift the hips left and right. Getting ready for side lunges. Left and right facing forward. To the right first. Here we go. And to the side. Add the arms in. To side. 3. 2. Last full one. Stopping on your right side. Feet facing forward for just a second. And then from here, bringing it down the rest of the way. If you can get a flat foot on the right foot, good. If you can't, you need to figure out where that is. You might need to be a little bit higher. You might need to support yourself, okay? But trying to have somewhat of a neutral spine. Try not to hunch over, but try to get that flat foot wherever you're at, okay? Couple bounces here. And then turning to the right, runner's lunge. Rocking it out, just loosen things up, using blocks if you need them. Slowing down the rock, rear legs straight and locked out, little pulse of the pelvis towards the ground without bending the rear knee. 3, 2, 1. Step it up halfway, triangle pose, fold and relax. Trying to get the front legs straight and locked out. Feet facing forward, hips nice and square. Trying to relax just a little deeper while keeping the front leg straight and locked out. Squeeze the quad. Then rocking it out, pushing forward off the back foot. Rocking back, flexing the front. Point and flex. 2 more. Last full one. Point, flex, Step it back, runner's lunge. Hands on the inside of the front leg. Turning back to the front. Other side. Same deal over here. Left foot nice and flat, or propping yourself up wherever you're at. And then turning to the left. Runner's lunge over here, rocking it out, loosening things up. Slowing down the rock. Rear legs straight and locked out. Little pulses of the pelvis towards the ground. 3, 2, 1. Step it up halfway. Triangle pose. Folding, relaxing. Front leg straight and locked out. Hips nice and square. Squeeze the quad. Get the leg a little straighter. And then rocking it out over here. Point. And flex, point, and flex. 2 more. Last full one. And back into your lunge. Hands on the inside of the front leg. Turning back to the front. Coming back to the center. Readjust. Knees over the ankles. Chest lifted. Deep grand plie. No hands if you can. And then down just a little bit lower to 90 degrees. Down to the forearms. Turning to the left, pushing open the right. Other way. Turning right, pushing open the left. Back to the center. Hands down on the mat in front of you. Up onto the balls of the feet. Push, push, point, point. Stretch them out, strengthen them up. Releasing the heels back down. 1 breath here. Here's the hard work. Back up onto the balls of the feet. Push, push, point, point. Squeeze through the legs, engage through the ankles. Try to lift your hands off of the ground. See if you can balance. Maybe try to stand up. Ooh, I did it today. Arms out to the side like a good little ballerina. Back down. Parallel the feet, forward fold. Just shake it out, whatever you want. From here, walk your hands forward off of your mat. Walk the feet back into a down dog. Pedal out the legs. Just start to settle in and get comfortable. Fingers are spread wide. Hands are active. Pushing through the shoulders. Trying to get the chest through. Pedaling out the legs. Couple breaths here. From here, shifting forward, top of plank, shoulders over the wrists. If you need to drop to your knees, you can. Otherwise, you're in a full plank if you got one. Pushing back, down dog. Once again, shifting forward, top of plank, 2 breaths here. From here, up dog, lowering the pelvis, thighs are off the ground. You're still on your toes. Open the feet up just a little bit wider than the hips. Turn your booty towards the right, push it to the side, and then up and over. Up dog, down dog, swivels. 3 to the right. Looking between your legs when you're in down dog. Looking forward when you're in up dog. 2 more. Let the spine drive the head naturally. Last full one. And after you get back here to the right side, go 3 more to the left. Other direction. For 1. 2. And 3. Meeting me back in down dog. Pedal it out, take a couple breaths. And then from here, walk yourself onto your mat in your down dog position. Shifting forward into a plank, drop the knees, push back, child's pose. Couple breaths here, arms and hands are out in front of you. And then from here, shifting forward back into a tabletop, open the knees up a little bit wider, take the front leg pivot underneath you, sit back, and then come on, we're going to do some abs today, okay? Liquid abs, because we're definitely going to be using these, okay? So if you're new to these, pay attention, otherwise the rest of you hopefully should know what to do. So we're going to do some abs, but instead of just staying in a contracted position like this, coming up, what we're going to think about is initiating from the pelvis. So as we decide to go backward, we're going to think about tilting the pelvis, it rounds the spine, and then we start to go back as far as we can before the heels start to come off, right? So however deep you can go. As we go back forward, don't lead with the chest and contract through the abs. Think about tilting the pelvis that rolls through the spine, neutralizing it, right? And then you continue back forward, okay? It's going to be hard because you're going to be back here and you're not going to want to tilt here. So we're working on strengthening the abs in an elongated shape here, okay? Here we go. Hands are out in front of you. Both are nice and straight sitting up. Okay, from here we're going to go back. Think about tilting the pelvis. It rolls through the spine, tucking the pelvis. We start to go back as far as we can. From here, tilt the pelvis. Let it roll through the spine, and then continue moving forward. Here we go. Back. Tilt. Come forward. 4 more. Down. Tilt. Forward. 4, 3. And up. 2. Up. Last one. Up. Pause. Come back as far as you can. Tuck the pelvis round. Holding it here. Good. Taking the arms overhead. We're going to start with the front arm up and rear. Front and rear. 3. 2. Last one. Both arms. 4. 3. Breathe. 2. And 1. Hands are out in front of you. Rolling down through the spine. 1 vertebrae at a time until you're on your back. Couple breaths here. Yeah. Smells like someone's cooking onions downstairs. You smell that? It smells like onions or something.
Are you talking to me?
Maybe I stink. No. Okay, from here, we're going to work our way into a plow. Squeeze the ankles together, hands are on the mat next to the hips, peeling the knees in towards your chest, rolling back into a plow of choice. Hands underneath the hips for support if you need it. Feet are on the ground if you can get it. If you can't get 2 feet, you're working on 1. Maybe it's 1 leg bent and 1 is straight and flexed overhead. Or maybe you're just in a little tuck ball, toe tapping overhead. Or maybe you're in a straddle, right? Just like doing a little teeter-totter forwards and backwards until you get 1 foot and then eventually 2. And then hands back down on the mat, nice and slow. Rolling down through the back, 1 vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. We're still going to stay on our back here. Let the legs lower down. Boom. Take a breath. Straighten the right leg, bring it up. You can curl up a little bit if you want to. Reach up for the calf, just stretching the leg out ever so lightly. Okay, loosening the hamstring. Okay, and then switch to the left, right, and left. And as you see, I don't have a lot of flexibility. This is decent right here for me, okay? And the next time you're on the front leg, grabbing the calf wherever your flexibility is. If for me this is like comfortable, right here is like, okay, we're starting to push it. So I want somewhere between just past comfortable but not hard. And as you hold your leg, I want you to think about squeezing the quad to get rid of the micro bend. You see how my leg has just a little micro bend right here? Or really it's over the front of the shin and the leg, right? But as I squeeze the quad, my leg gets a little bit straighter and the foot comes a little bit closer to my head, right? And then release it. Rear leg and squeeze. Front, squeeze. It's almost like you're kicking a little tennis ball over your head with the foot. Only because you're actually squeezing the quad to get rid of the micro bend. 2 more. Last one. And then back. Good. Rolling forward, sitting yourself up. Fold over your legs. Put your hands to one side of your ankles. Roll your hip to the same, or roll to the same hip, and then swivel around to your belly. Boom. From here, pushing back into a tabletop once again. Readjust, shoulders over the wrists, hips are over the knees. Simple cat and cow. Yes, think about tilting the pelvis. It rolls through the spine and then the head lifts last. Tucking the pelvis. The spine rounds and the head drops last. At your own pace, we're almost there. Tilting and tucking. Initiating from the pelvis, out through the spine. Taking this on a rotation, rolling cat and cow, whatever direction, still using the pelvis to initiate the movement. Other direction, and the head is just along for the ride. Make sure you're looking between your legs in your cow or your cat, and then looking forward when you're in your cow, okay? 2 directions. And then coming back to center. Tucking the toes, almost there, final hamstring stretches, and then we'll be good. Take the right foot straight behind you, reach it forward into a runner's lunge, drop the rear knee, untuck the toes up onto the front for just a quick lunge stretch right here. Whatever you want, nothing too crazy. Just making sure the knee is stacked over the ankle. Hopefully you have a mirror or something that you can look into. Will be super helpful. Otherwise, using your phone or, recording yourself at a later point in time, definitely unnecessary. And then from here, folding forward, hands are underneath the shoulders. Yes. Keep the foot where it is, straighten the leg, and the booty goes back. Yeah, so you're folding over the front leg. Yeah, hips are fairly square. I'm actually off center with this mat right now. Boom, foot is flexed, and then just trying to fold just a little bit more, waking up the hamstring. Maybe wiggle out the foot. Coming back to center. Once again, trying to squeeze this quad to get the leg a little straighter for that micro bend. Okay? Shift the energy back forward, but stay here, just a breather. Once again, straightening the front leg, booty goes back, foot is flexed, legs straight and locked out, using blocks if you need them. Yes. Trying to squeeze that quad, get the leg a little bit straighter. And release. From here, just release the tension, stay in the pose, take the front foot, take it across the body, turn to the outside of that hip, and then getting to the outside there. Should hurt so good, right? And then working your way back out. Replace the foot where it was. Shift the energy back forward. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Tuck the rear toes. Straighten the rear leg. Step back to plank. Down dog. 2 breaths here. Other leg straight behind you. Bringing the foot through. Step it down. Runner's lunge. Drop the rear knee. Untuck the toes. Lunge of choice. I think we have a monster in the other room eating something. I don't know. It's very crunchy. It's Chester Cheeto. And then from here, folding forward, hands underneath the shoulders, straightening the front leg, booty goes straight back. Really? Straightening the front leg, squeezing the quad, sorry. Release the tension, shift back forward just a little bit. Last stretch, we're almost done. One more time, straighten the front leg, booty goes straight back, getting the front leg nice and straight. Using the blocks if you need them. Squeeze the quad to get the leg a little bit straighter. Hold it. Release the tension. Take the foot, take it up across the body, turning to the outside of that hip. Final stretch of the day, and then we're done. And then working our way back out. Replace the foot, shift the energy forward, hands underneath the hips, tuck the rear toes, straighten the rear leg, step back plank, and down dog. Walking the hands slowly back to the feet, final forward fold. Anything else that you want to do while you're just hanging out here for a second? And then heel and toe your feet off the sides of the mat, and then roll up with the mat. And toss it to the side. Put it wherever you want to. Okay. And we're going to get into it. Okie dokie. So let me change where the GoPros are looking. Push that down just a little bit over here. Make sure we got everything in. Yep, cool. Good. So and I'm going to move this off to the side a little bit and readjust the angle for this video. Okay, how are we doing so far? Yeah, so far so good. Yes. So we don't really need knee pads yet for the first part of class, okay? You can put them on if you want to. We're just going to start off with some prancing and some stuff. But what you will need is like a shirt or something. I'm going to put something on when I get to the second move so that you can actually rotate because we're going to do a pike swivel. So pure skin on the floor, unless you're a masochist, is not going to work so good. So take a second, okay? Figure out what you need. If you need to run, you get a tank top. If you don't have something, let me see if I can turn turn this up just a little bit. That looks good. Okay. And take these off so we can see everything. Woo, 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 woo. This is what we all paid for. That's why we come to class, huh? Throw it to the side. Okay. So we're going to start off with a prance, and then we're going to get into a pivot prance for today. Okay. So for the pivot prance, you're going to have to pay attention really, really, really close. Because I'm not there for you, okay, to tell you if you're doing it right or wrong. But I will give you very good cueing. And then later on, with both of the prances, I highly recommend recording yourself because you're going to think that you're doing it, but you're not, right? Like you're close, right? Or you start to do the prance, it works like a couple of times, and then the wheels start to fall off, okay? So it takes a little lot of practice to get it right. And then for it to just like stick in the body and be super consistent, okay? So let's take a look at the first prance. We're just gonna look at our basic prance. See if this is right. This looks good here. I'll do it forward, sideways, and all that other great stuff for you guys, okay? Boom, 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 boom. How do we look? Yeah? Here, are my legs in? Good, tilt it up just a hair. Yeah? How's that? Yeah? Ooh, look at that, I look good. Okay, so we're going to start with our basic prance, okay? I'll demo it first, and then we'll do it together, yeah? So, boom. Okay, and then from the front, just so you can see what it's like over here. Okay, boom, boom. Okay, so let's talk about the prance, okay? So as I start the prance, okay, we work and we start with a leg peel. So you can start on your elbows, but if the abs start to get tired, you're more than welcome to lay down on your back, okay? It's up to you, okay? From here, I'm gonna start on my elbows, okay? Elbows kind of under the shoulders, but I wanna try and push out of the chest. So I'm elevated, I'm not just like sinking in like this. It's gonna happen. You're gonna be like starting off strong, and then in 2 seconds we're all gonna like sink back in. I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I catch myself. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm so strong, and then I get weak. I'm like, no, come on, Brandon, pop the chest back up, right? So that comes in time with understanding what your body's doing. Okay. But we're gonna start off with the leg peel first. So instead of just bringing the legs up and going for it, we do a leg peel where we're gonna talk about tucking the pelvis. I see some comments or something. I'll check them out after I get done breaking things down. But we want to think about tucking the pelvis first, and that starts to bring the knees in, okay? So it's an initiation from the pelvis, not just bring the legs in and go. So from here, I'm going to think about tucking the pelvis. The knees almost start to bend automatically. I peel it into my chest here, and then I straighten my legs up to 90 degrees. Now, if you can't get your legs comfortably to 90 degrees, that's okay. You could be here, here, and here. It doesn't matter as long as it's a comfortable position for you and the best that you can, okay? We don't need to have our feet and our face making it look like we're flexible when we're not. We're just working with the range that we have, okay? So I have my feet up here. Boom. I'm going to start with just a little prance to start. Little baby steps. One after another. Look, I started to sink and I pushed out. Yes. And as I start to go through this prancing position right here, I want to have 2 straight legs for a hot second, and then the other one bends. Boom. Boom. Okay? So it's not this, okay? This just looks like you're doing bicycles, okay? So we want a really nice prance where you have 2 legs that are straight for a hot second, okay? If you're having a hard time getting it with a baby step, I promise it is not going to get any easier when you lengthen the stride and make this prance even longer, okay? So as we start to find this, you're like, oh, 2 straight legs and break. Then you can start to lengthen the stride, and you want to try and get the straight leg to touch the ground almost, and that's what's going to give you the illusion of flexibility if you can only get your legs to right here, right? Because this will make it look small, and then as the leg goes down, then it looks like we have a longer prance or more flexibility or more range than we typically will. Let's see what's here. What does it mean when you get a clicking in your hip when you do the prance? It means it's not so good. Yes? So for me, I don't know what the exact like physical term is or what the explanation is, but I know that there are certain things that I do with my hip. If it's just a little click and it's not too bad, or a little crunchiness, then it just might be like some tight fibers and stuff. When I first started doing this, when I first demoed it, it was like probably because I'm not doing enough stretching. But if I do more of like a wide leg prance, which we have another one we're not going to talk about today, but it looks something like this, yes. Sometimes when I do things like this where it's wide range of motion here, I start to get a little pop in my hip as well. There's just certain things that aren't, you know, super good for my body, all that stuff. But anyways, so let's keep going here with this, okay? So what we want to understand first is getting a small baby prance with 2 straight legs before the other one bends, okay? Now, you're going to have to choose which leg bends and which leg straightens as far as what works in your head, right? So for me, okay, when I'm prancing, okay, it's a 50-50 shot. It just depends on what you want, but I'm going to tell you both, right? So for me, it's the straightening of the bent leg that cues my other leg to bend. Does that make sense? So here's the bent leg, and as soon as this one goes straight, it's like, bend, right? And I come in and it's like, straighten, bend. And when it bends, the other one, does that make sense? It straightens and it bends. The other option is you can get to this part, yes, and it's the bending of the bottom that cues the top one to straighten. I know it sounds complicated, but I think you understand what I'm saying. It can be 50-50 for you as to which one you want to pick. But they both need to be in sync at the same time, because this is where things start to get all fucked up and crazy, is we start with the baby prance. We're like, yeah, I got it. Okay, this is good. Now I'm going to start to take bigger steps. And then the wheels start to fall off because there's a disconnect, okay? So let's try it together. Yes, so here we go. We're on our forearms. Yes, legs are nice and straight. Boom, okay. I have a neutral spine or a neutral pelvis. I'm thinking about tucking the pelvis first. It peels the knees in. My legs go up to 90 degrees or more, depending on what I have. Look up at your feet. Push through the shoulders. Start to do your baby prance. One little step right after another. Trying to have 2 straight legs for a hot second before the other one bends. Yes. And then smooth out that stride. Start to lengthen the stride like you're trying to bring the straight leg to the ground. Yeah. And make it smooth. Yeah. So don't be like super slow motion like you're in the Matrix, but you can never really go super fast, right? So there's got to be a little flow to it, yes? And then if that's working, but you're starting to get tired in the abs, go ahead and just lay back. Boom. Prance, prance, prance. Squeeze the quad to get a super straight leg, okay? This is how you get nice legs, okay? Is by squeezing the quad, not hoping you need more flexibility, okay? So let me know how that's going. I'm going to talk a few more things, okay? So, as you're practicing this, okay, you might be like, I can't get my leg all the way straight when you're bringing it up. That's probably because you're going beyond where your straight leg flexibility is. And the reason for that is because when we bring our knee in, right, when we're bringing this knee in, we have a bent leg, okay, or if it's this leg, right? With a bent leg, I'm not really engaging my hamstring, so I can almost kiss my knee. But if I try to keep my knee right here and straighten my leg, that's all you're going to get. My leg's already starting to shake, okay? Does that make sense? So you need to figure out how far can you bring your knee and still get a straight leg so that you can do this prance, okay? I want to have my leg over my fucking head like a pretzel, just like everybody else, okay? But that's not happening anytime soon. So when you bring this knee in, you need to know that, let's say at 90 degrees, that's where your straight leg ends. Because if you have a straight leg, and you take one up right now, take the front leg, straighten it out, lock it out, how far can you bring that leg towards your face before your leg starts to shake, okay? Now you need to dial that back down a couple of clicks. That's your range of motion. That's where your full prance is, okay? So try it a couple more times. Let me see if there's any questions, yeah? But try to prance, okay? 2 straight legs for a hot second. My legs were, let's see, what's this? I've been told, I have a hip that clicks my whole life. I've been told it's fine. Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, all good, all good. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I mean, a click that doesn't hurt, no big deal. Sometimes I have a click where I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. And I do it 3 times in a row, and I'm like, yeah, that sucks. Don't do that anymore. Okay, cool. Keep going. Da, da, da. My legs are internally rotating in the prance, is that supposed to happen? Neutral. Neutral is good. Yes, not like, yeah, like internally like this, like you're trying to twerk or shake your ass or anything like this. Just neutral is good, okay? Here, they might externally rotate just a little bit, right? Because you want to have space for your feet to pass. Like, my knees are just, but try not to like open and like have some like dancer feet either, okay? Just something natural. You have space to pass back and forth, whatever's working. We're not splitting hairs too much here. Whatever works for the most part, as long as we're getting 2 straight legs for a hot second. And then we're starting to strengthen that lat, strengthen the stride. God, I can't talk sometimes. And then bring it all the way to the floor, okay? Any other questions before we look at the pivot prance? Okay, let me know how this is going, okay? But you need to understand this basic prance. Yeah, mine are externally rotating a little bit. Yes, just a little bit, right? Nothing too crazy. I mean, you only got so much range in the hip, you know what I'm saying? You can only externally and internally rotate so much. So you just need to find something right in the middle that's comfortable. Because most of the time when you do a prance, you're going to do it sideways anyways, right? Depending on what you're doing. So you have this nice side profile action. Unless you're trying to come forward and you're like, boo-boo, hello, come back, right? But typically you want this whole like twat shot or whatever you want to call it, balls, yeah, that everybody wants to see, okay? So, now we're going to talk about the pivot prance. Okay, similar concept, okay, everything needs to stem off of the basic prance, then we can get to the pivoting prance. This part's going to fuck your shit up, okay, because it's going to be like left brain, right brain type of stuff, okay. So here's what the pivot prance looks like. I'll do it facing you, I'll do it away, I'm going to do it from 3 different viewpoints, yeah, so you can see everything. I still start with the basic prance first, because that kind of sets me up properly. Boom. Okay, from the side. Okay, and then a rear view. My abs are getting a really good workout. If you've never done prancing, yes, abs. Abs for days, bros, ladies. Okay. Okay. Any questions? While I start to break it down, type in your questions if you have any. Shit's about to get real, okay? So, when we start with our pivot prance, okay? I'm actually going to start with my ass facing you so you can see it, and I'll turn sideways too, but there's a few different things. They're probably forwards and backwards, okay? So, we have this pivot, okay? We are not going to rock left and right, okay? I'm not going to do this, okay? It's going to be a pivot to the left and to the right on the pelvis. It's almost like I'm rocking. It's like, what's that game at the carnival? You know, it shoots fucking softballs out and you try to get it in the clown's mouth or whatever, but the gun is attached to the counter, so all you can really do is swing it left and right and shoot to the left and shoot to the right. That's what we're doing, okay? So once I get into my setup position, okay, I'm gonna have my legs straight up like this. I'm just gonna try and turn my pelvis towards the right and to the left. From side to side, not this and this. Okay, that's the difference. One more time from back here. Boom, 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 boom. Right and left. Right and left, okay? So there is going to be a pretty solid oblique squeeze in the side there. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, good, good. Okay? Then, as we start to initiate the prance, okay, so if you go back to the starting position right here, the legs are up, you pivot your hips to the right and to the left, and you're squeezing through the oblique on each side. And if you squeeze to the right side really hard, it's almost like that right knee wants to bend just a little bit to release the hamstring. This is where this pivot prance is going to start to take place, where the legs are trying to like cross each other, okay? So we're gonna start with our little baby prance with this pivot, okay? So I'm in this position, okay? I turn to the right. This would be my bent leg. So my bent leg has to go straight, and then I pivot right to the left, okay? So now my left leg comes over, and as it straightens, the other one bends, I pivot to the other side, okay? So it's little baby prances in a pivot nature, okay? Once again, if you can't do it small, going for a bigger stride is not gonna make it easier. It's just gonna get all weird and complicated, okay? So watch it from the rear, and then we'll talk about some other little key points to practice. Yeah, we're here, we're up, I peel, I go. I turn to the right, and I start my prance. Straight bend. Left, straight bend. Right, straight bend. Left, straight bend. Right, and I keep going. And then as it starts to get bigger, or as it starts to get better, I start to make it a little bit bigger, and then lengthen the stride, okay? So as I start to go from side to side, keep practicing. As I continue prancing, basically what you want to be doing is trying to bring the right knee towards the left shoulder, or the left knee towards the right shoulder. So you're coming across the body. It's almost like you're doing like bicycles, you know, where you go left and right, and you're reaching up and you're crunching, except you're just bringing the knee to the other side of your body. And while I'm coming, yes, while I'm bringing the left side to the right knee to the left side, it's almost like I'm trying to check out the outside of that right ankle. So maybe that's a good cue to help you be more successful. So when I'm doing the right side, I'm looking at my right ankle, and then I come left, I'm like trying to check out the left ankle, and then I prance from side to side, and then I make the stride a little bigger, okay? Give this a try. Let me know how this is working, okay, if you have any questions, okay? I'll do it a couple more times for you in just a second. I want you to play with it first, and then you can come back to the screen and stare at it. Well, like I said, either one of two options. Start with a simple prance first, nice and slow. 2 straight legs for a hot second before that other leg starts to bend. And then if you want to start to add the pivot in, then you're going to take the right knee to the left shoulder, straighten bend, left, straighten bend, right, straighten bend, yes. Trying to find that little baby flow. And then maybe you can lengthen the stride, okay? You're definitely, it feels harder on my flexibility than the other version, yes. Well, once again, yes, because if we can still bring this knee bent across the chest to the other shoulder, and that's easy, but when you start to straighten the leg, we lose that flexibility or that range of motion that we had in the simple one, right? So you can always go back to the simple one and figure out like, okay, maybe I just need to stay right here. So that way when you bring the knee across, you're doing the same thing. All we're adding right now is just a pivot. And then depending how it goes, right, then you can straighten it a little bit more, yes? So there's a little bit of an illusion here as we go from side to side. It's like, ooh, I need to shave my knees. The outsides, I missed a spot. Everything on the outside I can see. I can see all of my defects. Hairy leg, bruises, scabs on the ankles from doing floor work, need to do the nail, whatever it is. Yes, but playing with that, okay? Give it a few more, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll look at what else is coming here, okay? We're doing good on time. 45 minutes in already. Woohoo! Okay. I didn't even grab a rag. I'm actually sweating today. It feels kind of warm. Even though it's cold and shitty outside, it's warm in my house. Let me turn this down. Quick little do-rag. What do I got? T-shirt works. Dirty t-shirt. Okay. So if all else fails, okay, just go back to the simple prance. That's going to be the foundation, right? Prancing, it's so simple, right? And then we'll go into the pivot prance if that's working for you. Can this version be done straight on the back? Yeah, totally. You can be on the back as well, right? Same thing. Whenever you get tired here, you just lay back, you do the same thing, right? You come here, I don't know which way is best, I'll lay back like this, right? And if you get tired, you could always start here to set up like this and then lay back, and then you're here, right? Boom, boom. Right? You can have your hands by your side. You could almost fluff up your butt a little bit if you want to. You could put your hands underneath your ass if that kind of helps you get your hips a little bit higher. right? Boom. But you should just be like, eventually the legs will be on autopilot, and then you'll have the hands, and then you could either be like sexy and working with this stuff, but get the legs first, because the legs are the hardest to get to cooperate first, and then adding in arms usually doesn't make anything better. Do your legs have to actually come together in a pike, or are they more scissored? They're going to be more scissored, right? So as they pass each other, yes? So it's a sideways scissor. So if you saw me in this position here, right? You can't see it here. It looks like a scissor, yes? But really, it looks kind of like this because I'm squeezing through the oblique, yeah? Maybe like a side view over here, yeah? Yes, cool. Okay, so we have some little prance action, okay? So now, that's why I said this is more mentally challenging, okay? So just try to remember, record yourself after this so you can look at it, and then obviously you can go back and replay mine, and then you can kind of put two things side by side later on after the fact, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I think I get it now, kind of stuff. Now, okay, we're going to practice one little move here as a precursor for what we're about to get into, okay? So we're going to do some clockwork legs, okay? But it's small, it's a one-way trip, and then it resets itself, okay? So kind of like in liquid, when we do certain things, we start to tilt from the pelvis and it goes through the head. We usually don't lead with the head and come back, right? It's like tilt from the pelvis, boom. Well, if you want to go the other way, boom, you need to come back to the pelvis and tuck again, okay? It's like playing Monopoly. Every time you need to go back to the beginning to start the round over. You can't just go backwards, right, in the game, okay? So we're going to look at these clockwork legs, okay? It's going to be really simple as far as what I'm asking you to do, okay? Because we're not doing like crazy, like da 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 da, like none of this like wavy leg kind of stuff, okay? It's really quick, okay? So it's just a one-way trip. I'll demonstrate now, and then I'll talk to you about it. Then we're going to move into the next thing, okay? So this is what it looks like. Okay, and I'll go the other direction. This is not my good direction. Okay, so the first direction I demoed is my right side, but probably looks like left because Instagram is fucking stupid when it's on selfie mode, okay? But it's a one-way trip, okay? So if you're doing the right side, okay, or you can do whatever looks right in the mirror to you, it's the same cueing, okay? So I'm going to peel my legs up, and I'm going to cross the legs, okay? Not at the knees, okay, but at the thighs. So there might be a little bit of a gap in between the thigh, okay, as they connect, okay? And then what I'm going to do is if my right leg is on top, I'm going to pivot my hips towards the right just a little bit. The bottom leg, which is my left leg, okay, is going to clock around, yes? And the other leg is going to start to chase. And then it opens. It resets. Right over left, turn, da, da, da. The foot chases the other. You get to this side, you open, you reset. Once again, to the right, left leg goes down around, right foot chases, it comes up, we're on the other side, reset the legs. That's it, okay? And then we'll do the left, and I'll see if there's any new comments because I see some stuff coming in, okay? So now here we are, and I'll do it around. I'll turn around backwards too so you can see it from behind, okay? So now my left leg is on top of the right. I'm squeezing at the thighs, so there is totally a gap there between the two. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Boom. I'm going to turn to my left just a little bit. Leg pivots under, left chases, boom, it's up, reset. Left on top of right, right starts to go under, around, boom, reset, okay? Now let me turn it around and I'll show you, okay? Right side, how does this look? Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll try it from my back. Boom, so right side's on top, left, okay? Left on top of right, not my good side. Okay? Questions? No? We're good so far right here. Da, 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 da. Okay, same question so far. Play with this for a sec. Okay, I'll demo a couple more times if you have some questions while you watch. We're just doing prances and I'm getting so much ab work out of it, yeah? Da, 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 da. Okay. Good. Yeah, I got a thumb. Okay. Okay, so if that's going good, now we're going to pause from here. We're going to look at one more thing before we kind of have like a little exploration freestyle time. Okay, so we're going to look at a pike swivel. Okay, so I'll put the shirt on. I'm just going to keep it over the shoulder so I have something to slip on. Let's see here. Can I do that with this? I think I need a tank top. Hold on. Let me see. Do I have a tank top? Do I have a tank top? I had one. It's okay. We'll make it work. Okay. So we're going to do a pike swivel. Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like and then we'll break it down. Okay, that's to the right. That's to the left. Okay, so for the pike swivel, we're going to be doing at least a 180, maybe more. 90 degrees would be a start, but if we can get a 180, that would be really good. Okay, so when we do our pike swivel, I want you to do a couple things with me really quick. Okay, you're going to grab your knees, and we're just going to do little rock and rolls backwards, right? And we're going to sit on the booty. So the rock and roll looks a little like this, right? You tuck your chin in, and then you sit up, you roll back. You come forward, okay? So I want you to do a few rock and rolls, but I want you to think about where you're rolling on your back right before you come up, because we're not going into a plow all the way, right? For rounding, we're rolling on our upper back, but like the upper middle part of the back, not all the way to the shoulders, right? It's almost like, oh, I can come back out, yes? And you roll back, and you're like, oh, here I do, and I come back out, okay? That's the area that we are going to pivot on every time we do our pike swivel, okay? Now, when it comes to the swiveling part, okay, we need to have our hands in check, okay, working with us. So if I want to go towards the right, I just want you to sit here in a little tuck ball once again. Your right hand is going to be out to the side by like 90 degrees, not all the way behind you, because then you start to lose power in the arm, but just reach out to the side comfortably. Left hand is going to be right by your side right here, and you're going to push with the left and pull with the right, and you should be able to just sit and spin in one direction. Yes? And then if we go the other direction, I'm going to take the left hand comfortably out to the side. Right hand is next to me, and then I push with the right, I pull with the left, and then I spin the other direction right here. Okay? So that's how we're going to start to get our rotation. In reality, when I'm laying on my back, if I want to go towards my right arm is going to be out to the side like a T. Okay? Not all the way overhead. Imagine I'm laying on a floor right now and you've got the top down view, okay? So my arm's out to the side like a T. It could be a little bit higher, but almost right after here, I start to lose power in my range of motion. So even though I could get my arm up here, I don't want that because I want a really strong pull, okay? And then my left arm is just gonna be down here by my side, pushing away. This one will push, this one will pull. Close the distance, close one door, and open another. Hey, check it out. Some cueing, okay? So now when I start to go back into my pike swivel, okay, you're going to roll back with the pike. You'll be on your back, okay? My arms are set up just right, and my legs are going to stay straight. I'm going to pike them back to that little spot on my back, push, pull, and come back down. And then once again, I reset the arms. Right arm is out to the side, left is by my hands. I pike back, up, pike swivel. Come back down, okay? Now what's important here is that when you decide to do this pike swivel, the swiveling part, which is the most important part, okay? You do not roll back onto your back, pause out, do some fucking Facebooking, and then do the spin, okay? At that moment when you start to hit the apex of that backward roll, turn, and then come back down. Try not to pause there and turn at the same time, okay? Don't just chill there, decide to turn like this. Don't do this. Watch. And then come back out, okay? It will work because I have a really good floor and like a good slick shirt for right now. But in reality, when you don't have something like that, all of the weight starts to sink into the ground and you actually have a hard time rotating, right? It'd be like we're basically doing a pirouette of sorts, right, on our back. So can you imagine if someone's like a professional dancer, right? They always lift and then they turn and then they come back down. They're never like, right, sinking their weight into their foot to pivot right there, yeah? So let me know how this is going, okay? Try it to the right, try it to the left, okay? Oh shit, 30 seconds left. Okay, we know how this goes, okay? So I'm gonna stop the move right here. I'm gonna save the Instagram, and then we'll be right back in like 30 seconds or less, okay? So come back. Play with it for a second if you didn't already. Let me know if you have some questions. How is the pike swivel going? Is it going good? Is it going bad? Are we falling over? Yeah, I like to go to my right. That's my strong side. So typically my left side, I tend to roll out of it. But we want to make sure that we have that swiveling action, okay? The mid part of the back so we can turn, right? And then if I try to go left, we reset the hands, boom, around, and make sure that the weight is nice and straight and the abs are engaged and everything like that, okay? So we're all coming back, I know, I'm just kind of talking for the replay. Yeah, boom, 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 boom. Okay. Is it happening? What's happening? Hot stuff. Yes, we're coming back. Good. The numbers are stocking back up. Good. Hurt spine maybe not coming up high enough. Okay. Well, the spine is going, like, do you have a naturally bony back? Yeah, when you go back. Okay. So if you over round, that could pop the spine out. Yeah, so we don't need to like over round too hard. Maybe tuck the chin in just a little bit. Yes, but I mean, for me, I don't really feel it too much in my spine. Maybe squeeze the lats just a little bit as you roll backwards, so you're not trying to give the world's biggest hug and exposing the spine. But let's see. Yeah. Yes. Yes, yes, you do have a bony back. Yeah. It depends. Sometimes some people have a really real bony spine. So you will get a little bit there. You could try going a little bit higher, see what happens. Yes. See if that helps it out, right? So you're not like in the middle bit of the spine. You're not in the like, you're in the upper third. Boom. Quick turn, go. Yeah, try and get in and out really quick. Now, how are we doing so far? Mostly okay, sometimes rolling out or wobbly, right? So part of that, yes, is as you pike back, making sure that you have good balance and an equal push and pull, right? Because if you pull too hard, you'll probably go towards that arm. If you push too hard, it can push you the other way. So you need a balance between the push. But then also, what happens is typically people, when they pike back, they're actually rushing to do the pike swivel because they're nervous. So they haven't found the back part, like the center part before you come back down where you want to pivot. So you're rushing it and you're kind of like in the action of rolling backwards and trying to pivot at the same time. And that can throw you off too, because you'll be here and you're like, okay, go, right? And then you pulled, but you didn't actually roll to the upper back area. That can toss you off there, yeah? Okay. So far it looks like it's going good, okay? So now we're going to talk about adding it on, okay? Let me see where we're at on timing. I think we're doing pretty good, though. 5 o'clock, what do I got, 15 minutes left? Okay, let's do this, okay? So, now we're going to start to put things together, okay? This is the 2.0 move, okay? So this is pike swivel to clockwork legs, okay? So here we go. Let's see if I got things right. Pay attention. Okay, here we go. How do I want to start? Yes. Yes? Did you get that? Ready, go. Okay, so now we're combining the pike swivel with the clockwork legs. I did it from the ground up just to kind of like see if I could actually do it, which I did, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to set the prep for the clockwork legs, okay? So we'll have the legs up. You're going to pike swivel. And then as you start to roll out of the pike swivel to where your legs are 90 degrees, clockwork legs, okay? And then you reset, pike swivel. And while you're in the air, pike swiveling, that's when the legs reset, okay? So that when you land, it's clockwork, pike swivel, reset, clockwork. Does this make sense? Okay, I'll do it a little bit slower, and I'll go a couple different directions, yeah? So now we're gonna start here, okay? I'm gonna have my right leg in front of the left. My hands, I'm going to the right, so my right side is out, my left is by my side, okay? I'm ready for action. This is the setup. Pike swivel, clockwork legs. Pike swivel reset, clockwork legs. Pike swivel reset the legs, clockwork legs. Yes. Okay. You want me to cue you through it a couple more times? Okay. We'll go right first a few times and then we'll go left. Okay. We could do it nice and slow, and then we want to try and find that smooth little shazam. Okay. So here you are. You're on your back. Hands are, we're going to go to the right, so your right arm's going to be out to the side like a T. Left arm is down by your left side. Your legs are up at 90 degrees. The right leg is crossed over the left. Okay. Get ready. Here we go. You're going to pike back, swivel, land the hips, clockwork legs. Okay. Don't reset the, you can reset the legs now if you want to make it easier. Okay. So you got the right leg over the left. Once again, reset the hands out to the side, right out to the side like a T, left by your hips. Here we go. Pike back, swivel, come out, clockwork legs, reset, reset legs. Okay. Reset hands. Again, pike back, swivel, land the hips, clockwork legs, reset hands. To the left. Okay. Left arm out to the side like a T. Right arm by your side. Both legs are up in front of you. Left leg is in front of the right this time. Okay. Here we go. You pike back, you swivel. You roll out, clockwork legs, reset the legs, reset the arms. Pike swivel. Roll out, clockwork legs, reset the legs, reset the hands. Okay, try a couple more times on your own to the left and to the right, and then shoot me any comments or questions that you might have. Okay, I'm going to demo a couple more times here in like 30 seconds. That way you're not in a rush to run to the screen while you're supposed to be trying anything. Okay, so take 30 seconds with the 20-second delay. Okay, and I'm going to demo a couple more times going to the right so you can see it, and then let me know if you have any questions. Okay, I'll do it slow like I'm cueing you, and then I'll do it faster the way we need to get it to. Okay, so right over left, right hand to the side, pike swivel, clockwork legs, reset arms. Pike swivel, clockwork, reset legs, reset arms. Pike swivel, clockwork legs, reset arms, okay? Now I'm going to do it faster, okay? So what's going to happen is as I start to clockwork my legs when I'm rolling out, I'm clockworking the legs, resetting the arms. I pike swivel, I reset the legs mid-air for that next clockwork, okay? So the workflow is pike swivel, clockwork legs, reset hands, pike swivel, reset legs, clock swivel. Yeah? Sounds complicated as fuck, but once you start to get it, it all starts to make sense. Yes? Boom. How did it go? Questions, comments, concerns, let me know where we are at with this, and then we're going to have a little freestyle, and then we'll see what else we have time for. Okay, questions, comments, concerns. 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Questions. Hi, all these people joining in. You guys missed a badass class, but you can watch it on the replay at AccroBrandon on my YouTube. Okay. Questions? Are we doing okay on this? Yeah? This is the part where I was talking about. Now we're getting into left brain, right brain, and making sure the brain is communicating to the hands and the legs at the same time, which is what makes it difficult, right? Not physically challenging, mentally challenging. Can you save this to the live? It will be, only for 24 hours though. That's why you want to go to my YouTube, AccroBrandon, ACCRO. That way it's always up there all the time. It'll be on my YouTube, on my Facebook as well. Makes sense, just needs to practice. Yes, trust me. You might get one good one, like, yeah, and then you're trying to get two and then it gets hard, but then eventually you start to link them together and it's working, okay? So, we're going to have a little freestyle and then we're going to look at one last thing because we have about 10 minutes left, okay? So we're going to play with this, right? Basically what we're doing is a lot of like prancy looking kind of stuff, okay? So we're going to have our prance. Maybe you have a pivot prance, okay? Then you start to get a little bit tired and you can go right into the pike swivel. Or if you're a normal liquid person, if you've been here before, you can take a quick breather. I'm going to show you something without teaching too much, okay? Just so you have like a moment. Oh, look, I finally got it. I just had to put the shirt on, okay? So you can have a moment of breathy, like, ooh, chill time before going to the next thing. That way it's not just like constant abs and liquid, yes? So we have our basic wide hip pitch. Okay, which if you've done this before, you'll know what I'm talking about, and if not, just be a quick learn, and it's okay, okay? So if you roll out of a plow shape, or even if you had your legs here at 90 degrees, if you kept the legs fused into the hip socket and lowered them, you would notice that it starts to pull me into an arch, right? And if I continue lowering the legs, I can let that entire arch, or that full range of motion, pull me all the way up to my head into what we call a basic arch, okay? So basically we're just keeping our legs locked right here, and if you lower them, it pulls you into an arch, and you tuck the pelvis, it brings you back up. It's not me just lowering the legs, because I can lower the legs without having any pelvic initiation, okay, or connection, yes? So, once you get tired doing your prances, right, because maybe you're here, you're like da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, this is hard, boom, I want to lay down, great, boom, I don't want to go into the next thing yet, I come up, I reset, I lower the legs, it pulls me into my arch, I can pause, I can have some sexy time, I can do whatever I want, come back down, boom, reset, I could just do a pike swivel if I want, and then come back right into another basic arch to this side right here if I wanted to, or as I set myself up, right, I come out of it, I'm pulling together, it's like boom, swivel, clockwork legs, reset, boom, swivel, clockwork legs, and I'm like, no, boom, wide hip pinch into a basic arch, boom, here, peel, up, prance, and prance, and prance, right? So you have some options here, right? We're just doing some simple things that are all coming together, okay? So, I'm going to put a little music on for like 90 seconds, yeah? Want you to play prance, pivot prance, okay? Maybe a wide hip pitch or a basic arch or something you're just feeling like, ooh, I like this breathing moment, yeah? And then maybe the clockwork legs with the pike swivel, okay? So, what happened? Okay, here we go. So, I'm going to put a little background music on. Good to go. Any questions? Yeah. So we've only got 4 minutes left, so I think I'm going to start to wrap here. So let's kind of just review a little bit. Talk about where you can find all of the good stuff. Right, because Jenny's got a class after this too. Anyways, so hopefully you enjoyed this. Once again, I'm AccroBrandon. If you're new here, you will be able to find this 24-hour replay on the Instagram Liquid Motion channel. And then I have the GoPro, which has been recording the entire time. That'll be up on my YouTube channel, AccroBrandon, AccroBrandon on YouTube, Instagram. If you like just watching me, you can always come over to my PITA, P-A-P-I, Instagram channel where it's like NC-17 kind of shit. And then if you want to donate to me, I love you long time, will appreciate you a lot. AccroBrandon on Venmo, PayPal, AccroBrandon@gmail.com. So today, right, a lot of prancing, okay, a lot of focus on getting 2 straight legs, right? Like where are we initiating? What are we focusing on here between these two? Yes. Making it nice and smooth, then lengthening out the stride. Maybe we're looking at the pivoting prance, yes, so that we have a nice pivot from the hip from side to side, bringing it across, yes, getting it nice and flowy, pike swivel, and then into the clockwork legs, yeah? Mentally challenging kind of stuff. I mean, I guess it is a lot of abs, right? It's like a prance class today, but whatever is good. So if you have any questions, you can drop them here. You can always ask me later, everywhere else. And let's see, tomorrow morning, once again, if you want to do a pole power class with me, tomorrow morning, depending on what time zone you're in, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 60-minute pole power express class, level 2.5 and up. So if you're inverting and all that good stuff, you'll have fun. It's just going to be pure conditioning. I definitely need it. I've been drinking way too much wine and eating shit I don't need to eat for the amount of movement I'm actually doing. But anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. Had a great time. I'll see you in the next whatever. All right, bye.